Hello and welcome to Life on Your Terms. I'm your host, Suzanne Arjona, and on this show, we're currently talking about addressing stress and burnout through the lens of human design. If you've missed any of the episodes, you can catch up on them in your favorite podcast player. The episodes in this series don't go in order. Each one is a standalone topic, so feel free to jump around them as you like. Today, we're talking about that feeling of not being enough or not having enough. This is that feeling of constantly striving to have more or be more, but it never feels like you've made it. It's never enough, either in your eyes or others. This is one of the challenges of an open will center, and this is what we're going to talk about today. I'm Suzanne Arjona, and this is Life on Your Terms, where we'll explore how to follow your heart, take control of your life, and live it on your terms. Despite only 33% of people having defined will centers, the world, our society, is oriented around that mindset, that operating system of the defined will. Now, when you have a defined will center, and you've addressed some of the conditioning around that, you're able to say what you're going to do, and you do it. You have consistent access to that will center energy. Without that consistent access to the will center's energy, you need to wait to get clarity first on what is truly valuable to you, and then act on those things. Then you can do what needs to be done. So what does that mean? Your openness, the open will center, attracts and amplifies the energy of those around you. And if those around you are acting strong-willed, either within their design or against it, your openness amplifies that and can cause you to try and act the same way, even though you're not wired to do that. Okay? When you try to assert your will improperly and it doesn't work out, you feel like a failure. Do this enough times, and your inner voice labels you as a loser, and you begin to devalue yourself. Now, this is a very simplistic way of looking at it, but essentially, this is what happens. Robin Wynn, in her book Understanding the Centers of Human Design, this one of my favorite human design writers, by the way, definitely check out her stuff. She paints this picture. You don't trust yourself. You lose faith in yourself. The result? You end up questioning your value, so you devalue yourself. This becomes a vicious cycle. You question your value, so you devalue yourself. You charge less than you're worth. Then you don't generate the resources you see others are able to generate. You become a chronic under-earner, and you devalue yourself further. Now, do you see how this cycle perpetuates? And how it leads to the feeling of not being enough or not being able to produce enough? You spend your entire life trying to prove your value. This is exhausting, and it depletes all of your energy. And that's how this open will center can lead you to burnout. So how do you turn this around? That's the big question here, right? As bad as all of this open will center stuff sounds, there are some great gifts that come with it. Your open centers are all a gift. They are where you get to explore the wisdom and the energy of everybody around you. Okay? Your open will center is taking in all of the options and all of the possibilities of what's valuable. Then you get to decide what's valuable to you. That's your job with the open will center. You get to take it all in, sort through it, sift through it, and decide what fits for you. Okay? You're not here to prove yourself. That's simply not what you're designed to do. This is not an easy mind shift to make for some people. You may have been pressured for so long, feeling like you had to prove your worth, that simply accepting your innate value is really tough to wrap your head around. If the expectation of producing more has pressured you all your life, then to just accept that what you have to offer is enough is another difficult mindset shift. Once you can embrace that you are enough and that the feelings of doing or being more are often coming from other people and aren't your values at all, you'll then be able to see more clearly what your true values are, what you value most in life. For example, you might experience a feeling of doing more or go big or go home because you're working with someone who's a generator type, and that's how they operate. If you're a projector, you might feel like you need to step up your game or get left behind, but that's not really who you are. When you understand that those feelings aren't yours and that your values of inspiring and leading are your gifts and that being true to that is enough, you'll be able to embrace those gifts and not feel pressured into feeling unworthy or of less value. Now, there are different flavors to the undefined will center, depending on which gates you have defined within your undefined will. Now, I may go deeper into those gates in another episode, but know that your defined gates will also add another layer of understanding and clarity if you do have an open will center. And I encourage you to investigate those further. You can Google them. You can check out some of the other books that are out there. But these will definitely add another layer to that information. And this goes for all the centers. If you have undefined centers and you have defined gates within them, they're just going to bring other nuances into how you operate. Now, this series is a prelude to my upcoming program, Burnout to Balance, which is coming up on May 27th. This is a free 2-day program designed for you to understand how stress shows up in your life through the lens of human design so that you can reduce it and live life on your own terms. Now, what we talked about today with the Open Will Center potentially allowing burnout to creep in is just one of the top topics I'll talk about in the program. We'll dive deeper into the topics and really get a feel for how to both understand where and how the stress shows up, as well as how to address it and turn it around. The link to sign up is in the show notes, or you can message me directly and I'll send you the link. Now, I've gotten this question a few times. If your time zone doesn't allow you to participate live, the sessions will be recorded. But to get access to those recordings, you'll need to register. That way I can make sure to send you the recordings once they're posted. And if you're listening to this at a later date, you can hop on my mailing list and get updates for when I run this program again. I'll have a link also to where to go to get on the mailing list in the show notes. So as I mentioned previously, each of these episodes in the series is a standalone topic. So feel free to jump around, re-listen to those that interest you, and share specific ones with your friends if you know they struggle with a particular type of stress. Even better, invite them to follow the show themselves so they don't miss out on any of the episodes. Now, if you're listening to this on a platform that allows comments or feedback like Apple Podcasts, your support right now would be greatly appreciated as we get this whole series relaunched, this channel relaunched. If a particular topic was helpful to you, please leave a comment or a rating. Your comments and ratings help the show get seen by more people and would really help me grow the community even further. So thank you again for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next episode.